Last weekend, there was a military plane of the United States which went to Taiwan, and it was a C-17 transport plane. And on board were three senators from the U.S. who visited Taiwan. However, they just stayed in Taiwan airport and they didn't formally enter the border of Taiwan. They just went to the airport and they met Tsai Ing-wen, the Taiwan president there. And there are lots of speculations about their purpose and motives and their identities of these three senators. And these three people only stayed in Taiwan for merely 3 hours, and they pretended to say that you're not fighting alone, we US are with you. Do you really believe that? And they promised, well, you can take it as a promise, but it's not a very vague promise. They said that the US would donate 0.75 vaccines, COVID vaccines. But they didn't say when the vaccine could arrive in Taiwan, the brand of vaccine. So, the Taiwan authorities pretended that they were extremely grateful about that. Although this very small portion cannot solve the problem in Taiwan fundamentally. And we have no idea when they will arrive and what the quality is, how the quality is. So this empty promise has led to a very big thank you message on the Wansan Hotel in Taipei, printing a very big USA word to show their so-called gratitude. So we can see that this mission seemed to be massive, but in reality is just a political show. And this promise is not very meaningful. And they said it's done through COVAX of UN, but even without their visit, this can be also done. So this is just a show, as you can see that. But you can see they made some very special point about that, since normally they could have arrived in Taiwan in other planes, smaller planes, but this plane is a very big military transport plane. So that they could have the intention to show, we US are mighty, we are with you, don't be afraid of mainland China, just go fighting with them, and don't be afraid of being hurt, we are behind you. And of course they are not the one who take the injury and damage from the mainland China, but they want to use Taiwan as the war fodder. Let's talk about a little bit about the three senators. The most significant one is a disabled woman named Tammy Douglas. She was born in the Bank of Thailand in 1968, and her father, Frank Douglas, is American, and her mother, Lily Chan, is Chinese Thai. And they toured the Southeast Asian countries, and they stayed in Cambodia, and they experienced the war there, and they survived it, and they went to Hawaii to live. Later, Douglas, this woman, went to the Illinois National Guard. And then she was sent to Iraq as a Black Hawk pilot. So we can see that she was actually an invader, a criminal, a war criminal who committed horrible crimes, war crimes in Iraq. And we don't have so much details about her, but it is very likely that she has killed a large number of innocent Iraqi people. And obviously, deservedly, her helicopter was shot by RPG after she finished a combat mission, and she was injured and she lost lots of blood, so she lost 2 legs, and that caused her disability. And this, ironically, this experience has been boasted by lots of Taiwan people, saying that, oh, she was so brave. This is an inspiration towards Taiwan, so that we can fight and survive, just like her. But don't these Taiwan people ever forget that she was a war criminal. She killed so many innocent people. So they want the Taiwan people to act just like her, to kill so many innocent people. Are they sure of that? Well, that's very astonishing to hear people saying that's so unhumane thing and take it as a good thing. That's unbelievable. And this woman was almost became the vice president of Biden, Joe Biden. So that's about her. And let's look at the next one. Whose name is Christopher Andrew Coons, and she was hailed as a close friend of Biden, and he was the advocate of the Taiwan Insurance Act, the Taipei Act, and very pro-Taiwan. And also some media have posted that he is the so-called shadow Secretary of State for Biden, and he is actually the convoy, unofficial convoy of Biden. And he was actually in the past he was sent to Ethiopia to threaten the Ethiopian leaders about the U.S. Power, and threaten the African country to kowtow to the U.S. And the last one is Dan Sullivan, and is also from the military committee of the Senate in the U.S. And to further boast the political show, he wore a facial mask donated by Taiwan last year, showing love from Taiwan. Taiwan can help, something like that. This very fake gesture, everybody can see that, but still, lots of people are fooled. And I must point out about, the truth of their evil intention, And actually, these 3 senators were sent to attend the Shangri-La dialogue in Singapore, but it was cancelled because of the COVID pandemic, and they changed their scheme to visit Korea and Taiwan. And the press said that these 3 senators has contributed a lot to ensure Taiwan could get some vaccines from the U.S. So they were selfish and brave people. It's a very fake description. And ironically, this C-17 Globemaster 3 does not belong to the U.S. Air Force, but they're under the National Guard. It was manufactured by Boeing, and it started to serve in the forces ever since 1995, and that's it. This is the first time that the U.S. military sent a C-17 Globemaster to land on the Songshan Airport of Taiwan. And actually, they were afraid of being being shot down by the Chinese Air Force. So they used lots of tricks about that. And they pretended to be a civilian plane, a on the radar. They disguise themselves. So that's a very shameless act, and a cowardly act. And this very big transport plane, actually, it could transport tanks, but this time it's only transported for merely 15 people, a very small team. So it's a little bit strange, abnormal. And there were not a single vaccine on board, ironically. So normally they could use C-40 administration planes, which was enough for their official visit. But they used the C-17, so we can take it as provocation to the mainland China, and they want to escalate the situation, which is very bad. And some scholars said that this military plane is to show the U.S. is capable of deploying emergency transport capabilities, and they're trying to skirt the brink of the challenge, just to show that the U.S. is determined to interfere with the internal affairs of China about the Taiwan issue. And some other reports also said that this plane doesn't mean too much. It just to show their attitude. And the disabled Senator Duckworth is need wheelchairs, and then maybe this plane is better for that. And actually, we must look into this and think what might possibly have been transported in this plane to Taiwan from the U.S. and maybe they transported something which is not in the interest of the ordinary people, about the stability of the Taiwan Strait. So they could have transported some something to help the Taiwan military, or to send something that can be used to control Taiwan more tightly. Everybody knows that Taiwan is not an independent country, but an island which is a puppet of the United States. So I would like to remind these U.S. politicians to stay away from the Chinese domestic affairs. I would like to remind you that Taiwan's official name is not Taiwan, but Republic of China. It's also China. And in the Constitution, even today, in the Constitution of the Republic of China in Taiwan, the sovereignty of their sovereignty is not just a Taiwan island, but the whole mainland China, even including the outer Mongolia, which is the country of Mongolia now, which is inside the sovereignty stipulated in the Constitution of the Republic of China, which is also called Taiwan now. So I want to remind you some of the people who have misconceptions about Taiwan, that Taiwan is China, is part of China, and is also admitted in the Constitution in the Taiwan government now. So please be aware of that.